Welcome. We're going to dive in. I hope you're as excited as I am. Hope you're ready for some remedies for RAD and rudeness because I've got them. I've been working for weeks to put this together for you, and I'm excited. So let's not dink around. Let's get to it. RAD behavior and rudeness is what we're going to cover today. And, you know, when they're doing that stuff, it keeps the stress level high. Not only in us, the parents and the professionals, the teachers, but also in the child. They're keeping themselves sick with their behaviors. It adds to the anger in the child and the parent, which, you know, it's not good. Takes the fun out of our day, doesn't it? You know, a lot of us had children, so we had somebody to play with and do cool stuff with. And then we get one of these children with these behaviors, and there's no fun going on. We're all exhausted. I know over the holidays, my phone was ringing off the hook with just stressed out parents as their children were pushing and pushing and pushing the limits and off the chart rudeness. So I decided this was a topic we needed to cover today. I want you to have fun with your family. All right, where's parents out? We get so tired we don't have time to do fun stuff even when we put them in bed. Most parents are like, oh, sitting in the chair drooling at the end of the night. Put them to bed and we're like, oh. There's no time to, or energy to use the time that we've got to do the fun things that we want to do. So let's put that energy to work, doing the right things to help the children stop the behaviors so that we can move forward. It gives parents wrinkles and frown lines, you know, bald patches from pulling our hair out, you know. So today we're going to cover arguing. We're going to cover back talk. We're going to cover interrupting and snarky behavior, hate looks and eye rolls, and jabbering and dumb questions. I just picked some of the top fun things that our kids fine-tune to perfection over and over and over. And I'm sure you have tried telling them not to do it, reminding, nagging, coaching, you know, punishment. You know, if you do that one more time, I'm taking your cell phone. All the things that we do as parents. And here you are at this webinar because those tools aren't working. We got to tweak the toolbox, fill it up with some new tools, and that's what I've got for you. And I'm excited. Let's do it. We're going to start with arguing. Look at that. You know, you look at that body language there, and with that body language, you can clearly see we've got an angry parent. He's got the glare going on, and the child's glaring right back in each other's faces. Their hearts are facing each other too. And when our faces are glaring and angry and our hearts are facing each other, it's hurting to the core. And whenever we get into a lockdown like this with one of our children, we're all losing. Every one of us is losing. We're losing minutes, maybe hours off of our life because of the stress that it's causing us, and we're hurting the relationship with our child and their ability to believe in themselves. So this is not the body language we want to use. None of us want to look like that. So let's put some tools together on how we do want to do it. There's 3 steps. You ready? Number 1, don't take the bait. I had a little guy I worked with years ago. I've been doing this for 40 years, so I have a little bit of practice. But he shared with me, arguing for him was like a hobby. It was like going fishing. And I was like, how do you get going fishing out of arguing with your mom? And he said, well, it's like I throw the bait out, and she takes the bait, and I hook her and drag her in. So then after that, I just pictured myself with a big hook in my cheek getting dragged in by the child whenever they came up with something they wanted to argue about. And you know, I have found over the years they all throw out the same bait. It's not fair. You don't love me. My brother doesn't have to do the work. I shouldn't have to do it. It's not what the teacher said. You know, all the same, they say the same stuff. Well, I stopped taking the bait. And when you stop taking the bait, the argument stops. You can stop it today. You never have to have another argument with your child. Are you excited about that? I am. All right, so no more arguing. That energy is going to go into fun stuff. All right, so don't take the bait, number 1. Second step we're going to put in there is repeat your phrase, not one that they made you say, but what you choose to say. And you need to say it calmly, standing up straight and calm. And what I choose to say is, what was it I want you to do? What is it I want you to do? Or what is it I asked you to do? Okay? Then I just say the same thing over and over. What is it I want you to do? What is it I want you to do? And they throw a bait out. What is it I want you to do? And I didn't take the bait. What is it I want you to do? I don't take the bait. So I used to put my hand down at my side and count how many times I didn't take the bait and kept my voice calm. Because you know what some parents do? They do. What is it I want you to do? What is it that I want you to do? What is it that I want you to do? You know, they try to like take it up a notch each time to make it more intense. And who's controlling the volume knob on you? I'm controlling it. I'm not letting a child make me make it louder and louder and louder. So I'm in control. And I say it very calmly. So I'm Irish and German, which is not really a good combination for patience. So it has been so wonderful because my children have helped me develop patience, especially with this arguing thing. So I put my hand down at my side, and every time I say it calmly, I hear my ears doing it right. What is it that I want you to do? I count it. What is it that I want you to do? 3. What is it that I want you to do? Up to 75. I have made it to 215. Woohoo! Proud of myself. So instead of getting my teeth gritting and my eyes are angry and I'm glaring at the child, I'm just thinking, Nancy Thomas, you are developing patience. Past the genetics, you can override all of that. Excellent. All right. So I love it. I love the challenges that our children give us. Some people have boring children and they don't get to develop their skills. But we have challenging children so we can take it up to the advanced level. And you know what? At the end of this webinar, I'm going to share with you really something exciting that I've got that I only do once a year. This is the 3rd time I'm sharing it. And anyway, we'll do that at the end. So don't worry, because I'm going to give you a lot of great tools right now. Repeat your phrase calmly. And number 3, stand strong, which is standing. Okay, not bending over like that dad I showed you where he's got his neck and he's glaring at the child. Stand strong. You got to be the superhero. How does Superman stand? Okay, how does Wonder Woman stand? She's not all bent over like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. She's standing up straight and strong so that the children can see that strength and have that sense of security from it. All right, body language really talks. All right, I just read a great book on body language. I loved it. But anyway, oh. I want to share this from you. I want to share this with you. This is from the Love and Logic newsletter. Dr. Jim Fay wrote this. He's amazing, amazing. And I love the Love and Logic stuff. You know, it's the gold standard in parenting. And once we get our children's brains healthy enough, I like to move into that program because it's the best out there. But in the beginning, we got some brain healing that we need to do, and my program's based on helping the children to use their brains more effectively and activate other circuits that haven't been working too well. All right, but this is from their newsletter, and it is amazing. So let me share it with you. Question: what is one of the primary ways that kids learn? Answer: modeling, which is defined as the subconscious imitation of adult behaviors, beliefs, and attitudes. So they're copying us, all right? Question: who becomes a model for kids? Answer: a person they see as both strong and loving at the same time. There we got our Superman, Wonder Woman, okay? One of the reasons why we need to stand up. Our body language talks. Question: once a child accepts a person as a model, how does the child see his or her own position or role? Answer: as a child, student, and a follower who should listen to the adult. How about that? Isn't that exactly what we want? Let me read it again. As a child, student, and a follower who should listen to the adult. Our kids don't listen. When they're in the habit of arguing, they don't listen. All right, so question: what happens to the adult's role if the child can hook him or her into debates or arguments about limits and boundaries? What happens to the role? Answer: their role changes to that of equals. It's no longer an adult-child relationship. It's not an adult-adult relationship. So what's left? We just lost our position as the model for the children to listen to and follow with one argument. Today's the day you got to stop them. Today's the day you got to stop the arguments. Today's the day your child can start following you and seeing you as the superhero that they need so they can move forward, all right? So question, if that happens, the argument, what happens to the adult's role as a model? Answer, it loses its effectiveness. Question, does the child now feel a strong need to listen to that adult? Answer, no. Yep, so, like I said, today's the day. Let's stop the arguments. Don't pick up the bait. Repeat calmly the phrase you choose and stand strong. 3 steps. You got it. All right? I love it. No more arguing. Step number 1. All right, advanced communication pointers. Body language, okay? Watch your body language. Stand up straight and relaxed, not like intimidating and stiff. And your jaw. We all set our resistance with our jaw. You set your jaw, your child will set their jaw. You're going to have more resistance. So be very aware of that. Have your hands down, not on your hips. When we put our hands on our hips, this is us puffing up for a fight, okay? And this is shutting them out. I want a barrier between me and you. I'm not listening to you. I'm not connecting with you. I'm shutting you out. All right? So we don't want to do either one of those body languages. We just want our hands down calmly. We also don't want this. Did your mom ever do that? And you just wanted to bite that thing, didn't you? I did. I didn't bite it, but I wanted to. So we don't do that. Okay, we want them open in their ears, not distracted by our body language. So use your face. Your face speaks a lot, all right? And we want to use it to help, not hinder. We've got this mom down here. She is not standing strong. She is clear down below her child's eye level. He's looking down at her. Is he going to feel like she's the superhero who can protect him? No, she's all the way down there. If somebody comes in to hurt him, she's on the floor. Not with these children. They need us strong, all right? And she's got her face. She's got the finger going there. All right, so calm jaw. Tension is getting ready for a fight. We don't want to fight with our children. Soft eyes, saying, I believe in you. I keep my eyes soft because I'm busy counting how many times I said it right. Keeping score on myself. So it keeps my eyes calm. And my eyes say, it's okay, I got the ball. We're in good shape here. Not, I'm angry with you. I hate you. I'm sick of you. I can't stand you anymore. Those very negative messages are so destructive to the child and to our relationship with them. And in the long run, we're going to lose a lot of ground with that. So we don't go there. We want to check our tone of voice. When we get nervous, especially women, when we get nervous, our whole body gets tense and our vocal cords get tense. And then our pitch goes up. So we'll say stuff like, everything's fine. And you can hear everything's not fine, okay, because my voice is tense. We need to talk low and slow. Everything's fine. Then the child hears in your tone of voice, your body language, mom's got it, dad's got it, the teacher's got it, they have control. I can just relax. A lot of times I'm working with a child with anxiety, and the parent's like, oh, honey, everything's fine. So they fuel the anxiety. It's like, you're stressed, now I'm stressed, so now we're both stressed. And the child's like, okay, you're stressed too. It must be a really scary situation. It's like, everything's fine, right? So be aware how you're standing, what your face is saying, and your tone of voice so that you've got all that advanced communication skills, all right? Okay. Oh, boy. This is a little fella. We got a picture of him at one of our camps. We do camps all over the U.S. Little guy's there, but I want you to learn to read body language as well as speak it. And when you look at this little guy, what do you see? A lot of people say anger, okay, because he's got his brow furrowed here. He's got his teeth clenched. His mouth is all tightened up. But look closer. Look at his eyes. Now what do you see? Fear. Absolutely. Those are his knees up by his chin. He's in a fetal position, but he's sitting up. We call it a turtle. He's all tucked in, all right? And his eyes are saying, don't hurt me. And his ear, can you see his ear? It is beet red. And when we have a child who's moving out of their mind into the fight or flight part of their mind at the base of the brain, the ears often get very red to let us know this is not a good time to try to have a conversation with the child. Can't hear you when they're in that fight or flight, fight, flight, or freeze part of the brain, they cannot take in new information. They cannot use any logic. That's all up here. And my program is designed to shift gears from the back part of the brain to the front part of the brain, so we're activating the logic. But when we've got a little guy looking like this, what most parents do, and teachers, child's married, we do, we catch it. Well, we don't have to catch it. It's not the measles or the mumps here, or the flu that's going around. All right? We don't have to catch it. When the child's angry, we loosen our jaw. We make real clear breathing. We're breathing in and out calmly because we're fine. Child's angry because he's afraid. We need to be strong and powerful and loving so the child can get past their fear. Am I going to pick him up and cuddle him right now? Absolutely not. I'll probably get punched in the face. All right? But I'll just give him a look like it's okay. I got the ball. You're okay. And stay close so that he's got that sense of security, but I'm not going to, don't you give me that look, how dare you, and he's afraid, and now I'm attacking. I was like, not a good plan. And yet, that's how I see many parents do it. If you give me that look one more time, I'm going to. So they've got the threats going, the fingers out, that lethal finger. It's not the right way to do it. Not with our children, all right? They're special and they need help. Leadership and feeling safe. This is a picture of my husband's horse, 007. A beautiful, beautiful Arabian horse. And my husband loves that horse very much. They've been together for over 30 years since 007 left his mother and came right to our ranch. And we were out for a ride one day, and we took the horse trailer up the woods there, and we unloaded 007 first, and my husband tied him to a tree where he could see us, and then we unloaded my horse, Moneypenny, and there wasn't another tree, so we had to take her a little bit down a hill and around a bend a little bit to tie her to a tree because we needed to saddle up and get our pack equipment and stuff loaded. And 007 could not see us. My husband and I were both working on getting my horse set up, and he was very upset. We have mountain lions. He can't see us. He's tied to a tree. He's not feeling safe. And he was pawing, and he was whinnying, help, help, I'm scared here, and just tense and shaking all over. He was so upset that we tied him in this tree and disappeared. My husband weighs about 150 pounds. 007 weighs over 1,000 pounds. My husband walked up the hill, put his hand on 007's neck, and 007, his head was up high, which is, I have to watch for the cougar. I'm scared, and it's body tension. Instantly, when my husband put his hand on that horse's neck, his head came down, his breathing changed, his whole body relaxed. He was like, oh, good. I'm completely safe. You're here. Now, can my husband fight off a mountain lion better than a 1,000-pound horse can outrun a mountain lion or stomp it to death? No. But 007 believes he can. To 007 and to me, my husband's a superhero. And that's the feeling our children need to have. You're not the attacker. You're not the enemy. You're helping them. You're protecting them. You're keeping them safe. So when you reach for them, their body goes, oh, you've got my back. Whether you're a great teacher, a great therapist, a great mother, a great father, you have to be the protector for these children because they are children. And they will test you. All of the behaviors we're talking about today are testing. Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? Are you strong enough? Yeah, I am. I would take on a mountain lion to protect my child, wouldn't you? And my cowboy would take on a mountain lion to protect his horse, too. Hopefully, we never have to. But anyway, leadership and feeling safe are huge keys to helping our children stop all these behaviors. Back talk. Look at this little guy. You've probably seen that face before. He's got his fist all, he's so angry. And they got to have the last word, and you say something, and they're right back at you, and you say something, and they're right back at you, and we got it going on. So how do we get them to stop? We're going to correct quickly one word. Out of line, out of disrespect, one word is where we stop, okay? Every time. So we want to use what we call Coke machine parenting, like a Coke machine pays off every time. Every single time the child's one toe over the line with disrespect, we correct. And I like to use the brain-based behavior intervention. That's a program that I developed. We've used for 40 years. And if you didn't see my webinar on that, I want you to have that. It's a whole It's about 45 minutes, maybe it's an hour-long webinar on the brain-based behavior interventions and how we do it. So I will send you the free link so you can watch it. Usually it's like 25 bucks, I think. But anyway, email me, nancy@attachment.org. I will send you the free link. You can see the whole thing. I show you how to walk through it step by step. So you've got that whole program to help heal your child's brain, all right? So teach them what we do want them to say, because we're like, don't you talk to me like that. Have you ever tried that one? I did. It was useless. Anyway, so we teach them what we do want them to say. Yes, Mom. Yes, Dad. Yes, Mrs. Smith. You know, whatever the teacher's name is. And it would be Miss or Mrs., not yes, Sally. They don't call adults by their first name. We do not come down to the child's level. We need to be up here, superhero, so they can look up and follow, all right? So, yes, Mom. Yes, Dad is the reply. There's no room for argument or back talk in that. So I say, what is it that I want you to say? What is it that I want you to say? What is it that I want you to say? Hold the line. Yes, Mom. There, you got it. And how do I want you to say it? Yes, Mom. There you go. Got it. And then, don't you talk to me in that tone of voice, young lady. You know, I've tried all that stuff. It didn't work. I know you've tried it too. It doesn't work. When we stay calm, we stay on top of things, and I expect, yes, Mom, when I give a child a direction, right? So positive activates the logic part of the brain. Your title of honor helps them to learn respect. So they're saying, yes, Mom. The correct answer eliminates back talk. So we want to stay positive and in a leadership role with no anger. All right? Parenting tools that don't work. This we call Walter. See how we've got W-A-L. Oh, there's a missing T. Okay. Well, boy, I went over this over and over. I'm sorry, I have a mistake in my PowerPoint, but I will fill it in for you. The W in Walter stands for warnings. It activates the back survival part of the brain. We're going to get more arguing when we build that part of the brain bigger. All right, so we don't want to build that part of the brain bigger. We don't use warnings. The next time you do that, I'm going to, not okay. In the school system, when they have the red, yellow, green light system, the behavior modification plan that they use in some classrooms, it's a warning system. And it activates the defiant part of the brain. Our children really struggle with that. It backfires. We cannot use a threat or warning system with our children, all right? So, W. The A is arguments. I think we covered those pretty well. And anger, it's not helpful. The L is lectures. Over and over, we go on and on and on, and they just tune us out. We teach them not to listen when we go longer than 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's about 2 sentences. Then you've lost them. Literally, their brains turn off. All right, so keep it short. The T, which should be in there, stands for threats. If you do that one more time, I'm taking your cell phone. You know, it's a threat. We think of it as we're kind of giving them a heads up. We don't want to just surprise them. You don't need to surprise them. You just do it. All right? So, explanations and excuses is the E. When you have to explain yourself, it's because you're not sure if you're doing it right and you need to convince the child. You're the leader. You don't need to explain yourself. You've decided because it's the right way to go and you do it. Now, if it's not in the middle of a challenge and they're saying, you know, earlier today you said such and such and I was wondering about that, well, then that would certainly be an appropriate time to explain interactions. But when it's a why, that means, why do you think you have the authority to tell me what to do? And when we answer it, it validates that it was actually okay for them to challenge your authority, and it's not. Whether it's in the therapy room, in the classroom, or at home, they don't get to challenge your authority. They don't get to be the leader in there. You've got that role, and you're hanging on to it, all right? Repeats. I don't say it again and again and again and again. I teach my children to listen the first time. One of the great dads that I worked with was on a hike with his son, and he yelled, "Stop!" And his son stopped in midair with his foot in the air, and he is alive today because he did, because the dad yelled that because there was a rattlesnake on the path. If he would have been one of our children who hadn't been through the program yet, why, what? He'd step on the rattlesnake, and there would have been a huge issue, and they were way out in the woods, and they may not have been able to get to help in time. We need to teach our children to listen for their own safety. When we say there's no drinking and driving, we don't want them testing the limits. We want them just following the rules, all right? So, repeats. Walter. All right. Interrupting, our next one, is a mark of extreme disrespect and impatience. It means what they have to say is much more important than what you are saying, okay? Or it means you've been on the phone so long that they need to get some attention. And our cell phones have really caused a problem in a lot of families, interrupting meals, interrupting family interactions. And we do need to be very aware of, either very short phone calls, or if we need to do a longer phone call, we do it while they're taking a nap in the afternoon, or once we put them to bed at 7, or the older kids go to bed at 7:30 because they've got all kind of reading to do for school and stuff. So then you can do a half an hour long phone call. But we need to be aware that when they're interrupting, it's either because we're way off track and it's the only way they can get our attention, but most of the time that's not the problem. Most of the time it's, I'm more important than you. What you have to say doesn't matter. I'm going to override your speaking with my words. So it's disrespect, and it's got to stop. All right? Harmful to the relationship. It's harmful to a marriage relationship. It's harmful to a parent-child relationship, a teacher-student relationship, or even a therapist-client relationship, because it means I'm more important than you are. And when we get that going on in a relationship, it's very, very disrespectful. So can't have it. All right, so we've got to stop it quickly. Let's get on. How do we stop it? All right, test for trust and caring. Feeling safe with strong, loving leadership is essential for them to stop the interrupting. There's 5 tests they're going to put us through. We've got to pass all 5 of them. So let's take a look at them. Number 1, the first test that these children use to see if they can trust you is, can I interrupt you? It means, can I get you off of your subject and onto mine? Can I control you? And if they can control you, they can't trust you. So we have to really, really put a kibosh on interrupting, okay? So I say, I'm talking right now. I want you to write whatever it is, and when I finish talking, I'll be happy to discuss it with you. If they're too little to write, I have them draw a picture about it. But they're going to work harder on it than I am, so that every time they interrupt, they're writing or drawing a picture, and then we talk heart to heart, and they have my undivided attention, but not when I'm in the middle of a conversation elsewhere. All right? Can I get you to repeat yourself? If you flunk test number 1, they'll move on to, what? Okay? So you're having to do it over and over. I don't do reruns. All right? Can I get you to believe my lies is the 3rd test. You flunk that one, they'll move on to the 4th test. Can I possess your possessions? They're going to start stealing. And it's all about, are you stronger than I am? Are you watching? If you're not watching, and I can sneak this right out from under your nose, somebody could sneak me right out from under your nose, and I'm not safe. Bad news. All right? Can I hurt your animals or young children? Are you protecting others that you love? If you wouldn't protect them, you're not going to protect me. That's a big one. We flunk that one. They don't trust us at all. And we've lost the whole relationship. We got to start over. And it's a lot more work, okay? So the tests start with, can I interrupt you? No. Every interruption needs to be corrected. All right? So we tune in each time, correct quickly, positively, not angry. I want you to write down what it is you need to tell me. When I'm done talking, we'll talk about it. Younger children draw a picture like we talked about. Have them wait. They need to practice waiting, okay? I wrote a whole blog on that. If you haven't seen my blog on my website there, it's attachment.org, and then you click blog up at the top. But I love to write articles about, different things that parents are concerned about and put some thoughts out there to help you. So there's all kinds of free articles on there. But anyway, have them wait. I wrote a whole blog on waiting because I work with Judy, my tech person, is also an awesome mom of Sprout. And she is amazing at helping him learn to just wait. Because I was like, oh, he's waiting. Oh, he's waiting. Oh, he's waiting. Because I don't like to have people waiting for me. But then it's like, well, yeah, he's waiting. He's learning patience. What a wonderful thing to teach. Let him wait. Let him learn. Let him develop patience. It's a good thing to have. when we go shopping. Last time I was going shopping, he went and grabbed a book. I was like, what a great thing to do. When he's a husband and his wife is dawdling around in the store, he's already ready instead of, and then there's, he's like, oh, shopping. That means I'm going to have a lot of time to read. And he's just a little guy. He's already got that. Patience. I love it. All right, so stop interrupting with focused attention. When they finish their whole, writing the paper or drawing the picture, and you finish discussing with whoever you're talking to, then you turn to them, you face them heart to heart, and you ask, and you listen, and you validate whatever it is that they needed to share with you. Ask, listen, validate is how we communicate with our children. And our eyes, our ears are completely on exactly what they're saying. All right? I used to tell my children they could only interrupt me if the house is on fire or there was blood running down. And then I found that was a really bad thing to say because I was giving them ideas. I work with really, really violent children, so don't give them ideas. All right. So snarky behavior. We got a little guy there, and he's like, got his mouth ground open here. And we want to not discuss it when they look like that. They're out of their mind. It's not a good time to talk to them about anything or ask them about anything. Wait. Okay, we got to have our patience. Okay, so find a quiet, calm time to talk. Ask, what are you feeling most of the time? When we have a child who's just snarky all the time, something's going on. All right, and I like to make the feelings very simplified for the children. Mad, sad, glad, or scared. We couldn't find a word that rhymed. So scared doesn't rhyme, but mad. Are you feeling mad, sad, glad, or scared? So we ask, and then what do we do next? Listen. I'm feeling mad. I'm feeling mad. So do we have to catch it? No. Oh, you're feeling mad. What is it you're feeling mad about? Well, I'm really mad that you told me I couldn't go to Bobby's house. Well, I see. That makes you really angry. I'm sorry you're angry. Let me give you a hug. What else are you feeling? Well, I'm scared. What are you scared about not going to Bobby's house for? Well, maybe the other boys will all have more fun and they won't want me as a friend anymore because I wasn't there. Oh, you're scared about losing a friend. Well, I can sure understand that. That wouldn't feel good either. And I give them a hug. So I ask, I listen, I validate. When we have a child who's snarky most of the time, something's going on. And we need to find out what it is. We've got to do a little detective work here. And then do we say, well, you don't need to be scared about that because you've been friends with Bobby for 72 years and he's not going to give up on you and all the other boys won't be more fun than you because you're, no. It's not ask, listen, lecture. It's ask, listen, validate. I can see where you would be scared about that. Doesn't feel good to feel scared. And give them a hug, okay? No lecture. People teach their teenagers to stop sharing their thoughts and feelings by giving them lectures. How was school today? Oh, not good. My friend said such and such. Well, how did you handle it? Well, were you nice to her? Well, did you talk to her kindly? Well, you know, if you would do so, and they're like, never mind, I'm not talking to you again. All right? Ask, listen, validate. So simple. Put yourself in their shoes. Okay? No lectures, explanation. There's no reason for you to be scared. Well, they are scared. Okay? So just love them. Just love them through it. And let them know their feelings are real and it's okay to have all of the feelings. I had a mom who was punishing her child for being angry. I want you to sweep the floor. And she said, I hate sweeping the floor. And she'd get the broom out and she's sweeping the floor with her teeth gritting and her face all angry. And she'd say, and I want you to do that. Good attitude. I'm like, so you want her to be like a psychopath and have a big grin on her face when she's angry? When I'm paying taxes or something, that kind of yucky stuff, let me tell you, there is not a big, huge grin on my face. I do not do it with a good attitude. I do it with get this done. And that's honest. There's nothing wrong with being angry. Being angry and hurtful is not okay. But there's nothing wrong with being angry. All right? So being honest about feelings is a good thing. Whatever their feelings are, we accept it. Oh, my goodness, I found this when I was searching for pictures for this, and I had to put it up here. There's the little girl. She's got her face all curled up. She's looking at a sandwich her mom's made, and it says, it is important to allow children to appropriately voice their objections. Is she appropriately voicing her objections with that face at your table? No. This is disrespectful, okay? We can appropriate. I don't like sweeping the floor, and I will do it anyway. We can appropriately share. We don't, ew, I don't like this food. That's not respectful. We can say no, thank you, and no problem. They don't have to eat it. My dog loves it when we have a new kid because they get all the food, all right? Always give a hug. It's acceptance. Acceptance shifts gears in the brain. When we open our arms and pull someone to our heart, it's total acceptance. It physically, literally changes their brain. They live longer, less cancer, less heart disease, and they're less cranky. All of us are less cranky when we get enough hugs. Our children, when they're healing, they need 12 hugs a day. And our brain-based behavior intervention, you do a brain shifter, you ask them what happened, that's all, just what happened, ask for accountability, and then have them come up with an act of kindness or how they're going to clean it up or how they're going to fix it depending on what needs to be done. But there's a brain shifter, then there's a hug. What happened? Then there's a hug. What are they going to do about it? Then there's a hug. So every time they're disrespectful in any way, they get 3 hugs. Helps the brain heal. Helps our heart to heal too. All right, so you have to hug properly though. Going to have a quick hug lesson here. We got so much to cover, but this is so important I put it in here too. All right, Hugs 101. In case you don't know how to hug, first of all, you open your heart. Sometimes that's hard with these children because they've been breaking your heart so much, but they need your heart. Then you open your arms. Leader's arms are on the top. All right, we don't let the child put their arms up around and pull you down. Got to stay in the superhero role here. All right. Then child's arms are below the adults unless they're a little one. You know, if you got a 2, 3, or even a 4-year-old, they kind of wrap their arms around your neck when you pick them up to hug them and hold them, and that's fine. But by the time they're about 5, they're usually big enough to where you hug them and they're standing up, your arms are over theirs. It gives them a feeling of protectedness and comfort and security that's unequaled. And our children need that, all right? The child's ear is on the adult. With children with reactive attachment disorder, RAD, they put their chin on adults when they're hugging instead of their ear. And when a child puts their ear on an adult when they're hugging them, it's to listen for your heartbeat. Whether it's here, your neck, whether it's at your heart area, they're listening for the heartbeat. Subconsciously, their heart will go into sync. If they're bonded, their heart will go into sync with your heart, and your hearts will beat as one. Helps them to get into rhythm with the family, literally, and get into step with you. So it's important that their ear is on you when you are hugging them. Not your ear, their ear is on you. All right? Flat hands on the back. When we put our hands flat on someone's back and their hands are flat on our back, there's actually an electrical exchange of current between the 2 bodies, like recharging a battery. And our children's juice is a little bit off track. They need our powerful battery juice to help them to recharge in a healthy way, all right? So embrace the child in warm, firm hug and release. Then the child releases. Smile in each other's eyes, and it's sealed forever. Hugs, the most powerful parenting tool that we've got, all right? Now, for the professionals out there, I know we've got some therapists joining us, some teachers, some caseworkers, some CASA workers, and some guardian ad litems. You can't hug a child with reactive attachment disorder and help them. It hurts them because what they do is they collect hugs out in the world so they can keep their primary caregiver, mom, away longer. So hugs are for the parents and from the parents, and of course grandparents need to get some hugs in there too. But the 12 hugs a day need to come from parents. Teachers can certainly pat on the back, rub a hand, stroke a cheek, and therapists and all those. But hugs need to come from the parents, certainly the majority of them. But the best thing therapists, teachers, caseworkers, CASA workers, and GALs can do with those hugs is hug the parents. Fill them up, accept them, support and love them. Opening your arms and pulling somebody to your heart is acceptance. Many of our parents feel rejected, misunderstood, unloved, unsupported, and a hug speaks volumes. Hug them. All right, so hate looks. Ooh, you know when you do that look. Oh my goodness. So first thing I had to do was change my outlook. I stopped calling it a hate look. It just like gives it power. All right, so we don't want to give it power. we change it. So instead of thinking about, ooh, he's giving me that hate look and I don't deserve it and I've worked really hard as a mom and who do they think they are, give me this look, all right? What we want to do is change our outlook on it. So what I started doing, I noticed with infants, when they have gas or when they're pooping, they make the same face. So they're, so when my child gives me one of those, I just think, oh, gas. And I just smile to myself, smile at the child, and they're like, what are you smiling about? And I'm smiling because I didn't catch the hate. I don't want the hate. I don't deserve the hate. I let it bounce off, and I don't get upset about it. But I do correct it, okay? So I get happy, not mad. I think about it as gas. I take the power out of it, and then I say, what's going on? Oh, I gave you a hate look. Yes, you did. And what are you going to do nice for me to make it up to me? There's a hug after they admit what they've done. Could I clear the table for you after lunch? Ooh, I would love it. That works for me. Yes. And I give another hug. All right. So work it out. They take, they give. My children are wonderful at back rubs. We've got a great video out there called the Give Back Rub. It's on YouTube. 5-minute back rub that we have the children do. That's just a whole lot of fun, a lot of bonding, and they can give back. But, you know, they can't do that with teachers and stuff. Works for parents. Unless you have a child who's karate chopping you and trying to break your back, then that's probably not a good particular tool for that child. Clearing the table might be a little safer for that one. But it's fun for a lot of kids. All right. Oh, eye rolling. Here we go. Picture. She's got her eyes rolled up in her head, and her body language, her arms fold across her body there is, I'm rejecting you, I'm shutting you out. Take a look at the parent's body language. Dad has his arms folded the same way his daughter does. He has now caught it from her. She's in control. Mom's got her hands on her hips. She's ready for a fight. Her chin is down like she's going to charge head first. Look at the parents. Look at their eyes. What do you see? Big, dark rings of stress and exhaustion. This child is literally killing them with the high level of stress and exhaustion. When we have a child rolling their eyes, it means you are so far beneath me that I am so far above you, we don't fit. And it's very disrespectful, so it's real easy to get angry. They want us to get angry. It's exactly why we do it. And the more angry we get, the more dark circles we've got around our eyes, which is our body saying stress overload. Whether it's emotional stress or physical stress, like from allergies or you've had a cold or the flu or something. But it's stress overload when we have big dark circles around our eyes like that. All right, so let's fix it. What do we do about eye rolling? Instead of moving away and getting angry, I move closer and I get happy. I'm so oppositional myself. I learned it from some of the finest oppositional kids. All right, so they expect anger and distance. Be oppositional yourself. Smile and remark, there's something wrong with your eyes. And I like to kind of roll my eyes around in my head at that point, you know. And I'll say, they're rolling around in your head. Let me help you. Look up, look over here, look down, look over here. There we go. We're going to do 2 of those. Get some eye exercises going, help your eyes get stronger. And then I give them a big hug. And when you have a child who loves to roll their eyes and you start to walk away, what do you think they're going to do? You got it. They're going to roll them again. There she blows. So, oh, they're rolling around in your head again. Let me help you. Okay, look up, look over here, look down. And if they go, I'm not doing anything, you can't make me. I say, well, sweetheart, you're not strong enough to do it right now. I want you to rest. And when you're ready, I want you to come and sit right here in that chair, and I'll be happy to help you with eye exercises. But don't do it till you're ready. Just rest. Let me know by sitting there. I'll be there for you. All right, so be prepared. Are they going to be defiant? Yes. And we're going to be ready for them. What do? Wait. We wait. Okay? Not a problem. Jabbering. Oh, my goodness. Are your ears worn out? Just like nonstop. You can't even think. All right. So why? Why do they talk more than any other child when they have reactive attachment disorder? Okay? They talk to interrupt, to control, and to make noise. All right? That's what they're using their words for instead of sharing thoughts and feelings and gathering information the rest of us use. So let's take a look at that. Why do they do that? A lot of our children, especially the ones with reactive attachment disorder, have early trauma. And when they have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from the trauma, which 90% of our children do have, they have flashbacks of the trauma. They are reliving the beating. They're reliving the rape. They're reliving the starvation or the rejection by birth mom, whatever has happened to them in their life, over and over and over in their mind. Their jabbering keeps that at bay. It's like people buy a machine that makes what we call white noise so they can sleep. It makes ocean wave sounds or shh kind of noise or something or other, all right? And that's so that we're drowning out whatever other interfering noises there are. With our children, their jabbering holds the flashbacks back. They did a study on that, and our kids average, children with PTSD average 15 flashbacks a day. That's the average, all right? They also are overwhelmed by their feelings. When a child has been adopted, or when a child has been through a huge trauma, whether it was a hurricane, a tornado, whatever trauma that they've been through, beatings, neglect, starvation, they are afraid they're going to die, okay? It's more than just I'm afraid. It's terror. And they don't want to feel it again. They're overwhelmed by that feeling of terror or grief. When they've been rejected by a birth mother, that grief and loss can be overwhelming to our children, and it's grief to where they could just sob and sob and sob and never stop because it's so deep, all right? So they're overwhelmed by their feelings of fear or sadness. And the yapping keeps those feelings back. So it blocks the thoughts that are overwhelming to them with the flashbacks. It blocks the feelings that are overwhelming to them with those, the deep feelings that they have. So they jabber. So it's still not okay. They still have to be quiet in class. They still have to be quiet so you can think. They still have to be quiet so they can think and they can feel and they can sort those things out. So when I'm working with a child, their mouth is the first thing that I start with in the healing process, helping them to get control of their mouth with all the things that we've been talking about today. And then they get control of their hands, doing what they're supposed to be doing, and their body being where they're supposed to be. But the jabbering, it has to stop. Now, if we put a cork in it, by having them be quiet, flashbacks are going to come. The feelings are going to come. All that builds up inside because it's not having an outlet because they don't share their feelings. Okay, they're not good at it. So it builds up, builds up, builds up inside. What do you think we just created? Volcano. There she blows. And maybe you have children that are already doing volcanic action at home. Okay, many of mine did. It was part of the excitement and the fun. Maybe you don't like it, but I always did. I like to see how long they do their volcano, and then it gets shorter and shorter and shorter until they're done because they've cleaned it out. So we do need to have a great therapist on board when we get them quiet, because those feelings do need to come out, and they need to come out in a healthy way. And therapists are trained and skilled. An attachment therapist is trained and skilled to help them to release those big feelings and resolve them rather than just keep having them build up. So have them practice silent times each day. I have my children play with Legos no matter how old they are. There's Legos for the little tiny hands, okay, and there's Legos for the teenagers where they've got motors and stuff. They can do all kind of cool things with those. I put a beach towel down for the little ones. If they're 15 and up, I have them do it at the table. And I say you may play with the Legos as long as you do it silently and stay in the chair or on the beach towel if they're a little one, because I like it on the beach towel. You can just pick it up and dump it back in the bucket, all right? And the Legos rebuild the cause and effect part of the brain. So it's handy getting different parts of the brain activated with that project. They start with just a few minutes, and then they're talking, and they're done. As soon as they make a sound, any sound, they're done. And we pick it up and we move on. All right? So, art, outlet for the subconscious, very powerful. I like my children to do art every day, whether they're watercoloring or they're drawing or they're doing clay work, whatever I've got out. And they do it silently. As long as they're silent, they can continue with their art. One peep, they're done. I pick it up, they move on to the next project, which is looking at books. I don't call it reading. Many of our children are allergic to reading, so we call it looking at books, okay? And we give them silent time to look at the book so that they can practice that quiet time where their mind is on something else, and it's a little easier for them than just sitting quietly with nothing, because those flashbacks are going to come. All right, start with 5 minutes. I mean, I expect 5 minutes. If they can sit down and just play for 30 minutes, fabulous. But many of our children aren't able to do it silently that long. And we've got to have our ears turned on to correct quickly, because this is a training program we're doing here. We're helping the child develop some skills. All right? So give them time to jabber in the chair. If they just really need to jabber, we have a jabber chair, and they can sit there and talk all they want. I don't have to sit and listen to them, but they can talk all they want. And they sit there and good job on the jabbering. I'm glad you're getting that out of your system. Excellent. All right. Have them do a mouth check, which is them putting their hand over their mouth. It's in the Bible. It says if your tongue gets you into trouble, clasp your hand over your mouth. All right. So there we go. It works really well. Okay. And it helps them to remember that they need to be working on helping their mouth to get strong. All right. Have an outlet for thoughts and feelings. Great therapist is the best place for that. Some of that artwork is also going to help, but you really can't replace the therapist when they're trained. All right? So, dumb questions. Ready for this? There we got Einstein. I don't think he really did write that. I'm positive he didn't. Somebody photoshopped it in, but it says, I will use Google before asking dumb questions. I think he's the one who said there are no dumb questions, but you know what? They haven't lived with a child with reactive attachment disorder, because there are dumb questions. I once asked Sprout what the definition of a dumb question is, and he replied, it's one I already know the answer to. Yeah, that would definitely be the definition of a dumb question. All right, so do not answer it. We want them to use their brain, not ours. If they're using yours, you're answering the question. So I let them use theirs. They're building it. They're getting it stronger. Have them write or tell you 3 ways they can figure out the answer themselves. Right? Is this spaghetti? Well, that's a good question. You tell me 3 ways you can figure out what that is on your dinner plate. Well, I could smell it. All righty. What does it smell like? It smells like spaghetti. All right. What else? Well, I could look at it. There you go. What does it look like? It looks like spaghetti. All right. And what else? I could taste it. Okay. Go for it. What does it taste like? Tastes like spaghetti. There you have it. I knew you could figure that one out. So I have them work harder on it than I do. And the dumb questions is all about that whole roadblock, that the jabbering, the mouth, keeping the thoughts and the feelings stuffed inside instead of coming out in a healthy, appropriate way. All right? So give them a hug and move on. Or I give them question cards. I get like a 3x5 card and cut it in half, use a Sharpie, write question marks on them. I give them 5 in the morning at breakfast. Whenever they ask a question, they have to give me their question card, and I'm happy to answer it. When they run out of their question cards for the morning, there are no more questions. They're out. Then at lunch, I give them the 5 question cards again, and whenever they have a question the rest of the afternoon, I should just give them in the morning, and it didn't work. They don't space them out well enough, but they get pretty good at thinking before asking, and it helps them to become very aware how many questions they are asking. You need to know, especially with the children's reactive attachment disorder, the one asking the questions is the one who's in control. All right? So who needs to be asking the questions? You. When they're leading the conversation by asking the questions, they are in control of you, and that's not a good position for them to be in or for you to be in. All right? So what do we want? Well, I think we want peace. All right? And I wanted to share with you this opportunity that I've got to join my Advanced Parenting Academy, because I've shown you some tools today, and I want you to know how to do it. I had people for years saying, I just want to follow you around, Nancy Thomas, and like watch everything you do, how you say it, how you do it, because that's how I learned, by watching and following. And I was like, well, I can't do that. It's going to be too disruptive to my family to have people following me around all the time. So we started doing camps, and they've been very successful, absolutely very successful. We've got research being published actually this month on the huge success that we're seeing in the families that attend our camps. But a lot of people can't come to camp. Travel's expensive. Their children are too out of control to travel with them, you know, for a lot of reasons. So I put together an online academy to help you. So I don't know why you came to this webinar today. but I can guess. You have a child who's wearing you out, one who is stuck in a cycle of bad behaviors like quicksand. You feel like you're going down too from exhaustion. I think you have two choices here. You can choose to keep doing what you've been doing and spinning your wheels, going nowhere, or put a strategic plan in place and change things by doing it the easy way. I want to invite you to join my Advanced Parenting Academy. Let me show you the way. I've been down the road many times, and I know where the potholes are and the endless loops, and I can show you how to avoid them and stay on the path that works. I am so excited about this course. I put it on sale today. It's like half price, actually more than half price. Okay, because I'm pumped about it, and I want you to be able to afford it. I want to be able to help you to get where you want to go with your child, okay? It's called the Master Course, the one that I've got on sale today. It has a precise plan with a proven process. And like I said, that research is going to be published here pretty quickly, and I'm excited. They've 2-year follow-up on the program with the parents that they did in the research, over 100 children. So, give you the skills to achieve big results. I want you to picture yourself. See this picture of this family out on the beach? They're all peaceful. They're not, ew, I don't like this. It's hot. It's cold. I want a sandwich. Give me. They're just peaceful. It's what I want for you. Picture yourself sitting at your dinner table, smiling and happy. Your challenging child now peaceful and content while you all enjoy your food. Picture getting a call from the school. How about that? Usually that makes our heart pound, doesn't it? But how about when the teacher says, what an outstanding student and example your child is for the class, and it's real. Picture your child coming and hugging you and thanking you for what you've done and not asking for something, but truly meaning it. Picture your child honest, happy, peaceful, helping you do things. That's what I want for you, and that is why I worked for over a year to put this master course together. It works. I want to help you re-engineer your parenting tools for optimum results. So let's get to the fun. Let me show you what I've got here. Whoop. All right. Oh, yeah. You want to be happy. I want to show you the exact steps to get the children on track and keep them there. This is a proven program, okay? It's not something I just threw together here. 40 years of working with out-of-control, violent children. I have the highest success rate in the country, maybe in the world, I don't know. But with over 7,000 children, okay? We've had 3,750 at our family bonding camps for over 16 years as we taught the parents the tools to use, showed them how to use them, and backed them up so that they had the whole program. With over 4,000 parents who have taken my course, or I have worked with one-on-one in their home over the last 40 years, that's over 7,750 children that are now way healthier because of this simple program that's very easy to put together because I already worked the bugs out. So many people said they wanted to follow me around. I had a camera follow me around, and we started with how do you get them up in the morning, how do you get them to brush their teeth, how do you get them to eat their breakfast, how do you get them out the door for school, how do you do it? And you can watch me doing it with my little model Sprout and how he does the hate looks and I handle it, how we get him through chores and we handle it. So you can see how I do it, and it's just a whole lot of fun. The films are just a hoot, and it gives you the exact steps as I guide you to help you put your child on the right path and keep them there. I want everybody to win. I want you to have a happy life with meals together. Kick the stress out of your house. We've got over 40 videos. Let me show you here what we've got. As you're searching for the answers, I've got them. Let me share them with you, okay? Some families get too much structure in place, not enough nurture, like drill sergeants. The child doesn't feel safe, they crash. Some parents get too much nurture, not enough structure, marshmallow parents we call it, child doesn't feel safe, they crash. We want our kids to feel safe so they can be successful and superstars that they were born to be. When we have enough structure and enough nurture, which is what my program is designed to show you how to keep in balance, We call it advanced parenting, and you're all advanced parenting. If you're living with a child with challenges and you're searching for answers and you're using them successfully, you are in the advanced parenting category, okay? This way the child does feel safe and soars to success. That's what I want for you. I want that peacefulness. I want you to join my academy so I can help you with that. Okay, let me show you what we got. Got opportunity number 1, the Advanced Parenting Academy. This is the master course, all right? It's a 6-week course to change the direction of your home. It starts next Monday, January 16th, so it gives you a little bit of time to get ready and prepare, catch your breath before we change your life. If you're sick of the defiance and the rudeness and you're ready to move forward, I want to walk you through it step by step. I want to help you. Invest in those power tools. You can change your home from chaos to calm, bring back the laughter. You know, I was talking to a dad last night in our support group, and I said, what was the best thing that happened since we met last time? And he said, I got to tell you, I had a snowball fight with my daughter, and I have not had fun with my daughter in a long, long, long time. And we just laughed and played. And it just filled my heart to hear this dad so happy he got to play with his daughter, a little snowball fight. We need to bring back the laughter. It's what we're supposed to have in our homes. Increase the peace, stop the war. So what I have is effective, time-tested tools. They're research-backed and proven. Matter of fact, I brought the research with me. Of course, I can't find it at the moment, so I'll tell you tomorrow. You watch the modules at your own pace. There's 6 weeks, so each Monday a module will come out online, and you can watch it any time during the week that you want to. You can watch it 72 times if you need to. If you're so stressed and tired and brain dead you can't remember it like I get, you may need to watch them a few times, and that's fine. They're there for you as long as you need them. You can see it done correctly, how you say it, how you do it, where you stand, how you stand. It's all there. You can have the confidence because it works. You don't have to travel. Some of our children are pretty wild in the car, and it's very, very stressful traveling with them. It saves you money on therapy because they don't need years and years of therapy then. They need a short stint of therapy. Then they graduate because you have the healing milieu at home, and the therapist can focus on releasing and resolving the trauma in the therapy office and move on. Saves you money on tutors. As we heal their brain, they can focus better in school, pay attention, and learn. Saves money on Prozac for you because you're not burnt out and maxed out and looking for meds. Less hair loss from pulling it out. You live longer with less stress. This program has worked for over 7,000, almost 8,000 folks now. Super clear path to follow. It takes the same amount of time with your family to do it right as it does to do it wrong. It's not going to take you any more time to do it right. And my program will show you how to do it right. Okay, so we have 2 ways you can take my course. They're both on sale. The independent study, okay, has the full master course, the full 6 weeks, everything that you need, all the films. There's like one main module. This is your program for this week. These are the steps that I want you to add. And then it has little short films to show you how I do it. So you can watch the little short ones. They're like 5 minutes. And normally it's $1,200, okay? Today, and until I think Sunday night is when it ends at midnight, it's $595. So you're saving over 50%. You're saving $600 here, okay? Over 600 actually. So this sale is only good till Friday night, and it is limited. We have, I believe, 1,200 people signed up between this webinar today. You guys get the first shot at it, and the people that are taking the course tomorrow. And I can't help 1,200 people at the same time. I'm sorry. So if you want me to help you, if you want this course, please sign up today. You know what? I want you to sign up so much that I'm going to throw in a bonus. I love bonuses. I want to give you all of my recorded webinars. I have either 12 or 13, I'm not sure, and they're worth over $250. If you sign up today before midnight, I'm going to throw that in as a bonus because I want to motivate you to take this class. I want you to never have to sign up for another parenting webinar next year because you don't need them. I want you to sign up for skiing or swimming or fun, doing something cool with your family, and never need me again. I want to work myself out of a job, okay? So I'm going to throw in a bonus, over $250 worth of webinars that you can watch whenever you want, and they're on lying and stealing and building your couple relationship to be super strong, and a whole bunch of really great stuff for you, all right? So this is the independent study where you do it whenever you want at your own pace. And like I said, it doesn't take any more time because you're already interacting with your children. You're just going to be interacting them in a healthy way that's going to help them to heal. All right? Or, let me see here, option 2, on that one, I made it an easy pay for those of you that need some help after the holidays. I hear you. So you can pay $149 a month, and 4 payments, you'll be all paid up, okay? So I made it super affordable, super easy. As you walk with me through the program day after day in your home, doing it right, watching your kids heal, bringing back the laughter, all right? So that's number 1. Second one I've got, if you want more help, if you want personal guidance from me, Nancy Thomas, more support, and you want to team up with other parents, then we've added to the program. So you can do the independent one where you're good to go, okay, or you can take it up a notch. And with this one, opportunity number 2, the Advanced Parenting Academy VIP, you know what? I didn't give you the website to add to join. There's a link to sign up in the chat box, okay? My tech person gave me an awesome note here. And the question box. So there's a link to sign up. It's advancedparenting.com/sign up. Yeah, advancedparenting.com/sign up. But sign up has a little hyphen in there, right? But it's in your chat box. So Advanced Parenting Academy, the VIP course, has the full master course, just like the independent study, but we've added to it. I've added 6 hours of phone consultations, which normally is $95 an hour, so that's $570 worth of phone consultations with me, okay? Nobody else, me. 6 online support group meetings. You stay right in your home. We have an evening a week that we meet with 6 other families where you're supporting each other, and I'm on there, so I can do whatever question and answers and support, and that's valued at $750 for the 6 weeks. Expedited emails, you shoot me an email, I will answer it within 15 minutes unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning, okay? But I'll get to it as fast as I can at 2 o'clock in the morning, but I'm available, all right? So expedited emails added to it, so that all adds up to $2,620, which is $1 zillion right after the holidays. I know. So I want you to be able to take it. If you feel like you need extra help, okay, I've got it in. The videos are very super clear. You can take them and run with them. You do not need the VIP course. But if you feel like you've got extra challenges and you do need extra support and you do need extra help, I want to be available for you. I can only take 18 families. And like I said, we have over 1,200 people taking this webinar. And tomorrow, before we put it out on Facebook that this is available and it's open to, we have over 5,000 people on our Facebook. All right, so I want you to have the first shot because you're the kind of people I want to work with. You're the people that signed up for this webinar, set aside your time, and showed up. So you're the kind of parents that are going to take my program, run with it, and be successful. So I want you to have the first opportunity to have these slots so that your children are healthy before everybody else is that's slacking this morning. All right, so there you go. The webinar special is $997. So that's way less than half. You save over 60%. That's $1,600 off. $1,600 you don't have to pay that normally. You go on my website, that's how much it costs, $2,620 for people to be able to take the VIP course. But it's not available normally. I have scratched out the next 6 weeks in my calendar to be totally available for you. And I don't have 6 weeks any other time during the year that I am available. This is the only time I offer the VIP course. All right, so if you want extra help, I want to be here for you. $997, all of that. The master course, 6 hours of phone, and you can split that up and do 12 phone consults for 30 minutes, And you can do it over the next year. You don't have to do it all in the next 6 weeks. You can space it out however you want. Support group meetings with other parents who understand exactly what it's like living with a challenging child. Emails ready to go when you need me. So Easy Pay is available for that. So you can do it in 2 payments of $510 or 4 payments of $265. So I've tried really hard to make them both really affordable for you so that you can join. And again, I'm going to put that bonus out there. Whether you're signing up for the VIP or the Independence Day, all of my online webinars are going to be included. Okay, so you've got that bonus ready to go. All right, so there's the link. If you aren't seeing it in your chat box or your question box there, advancedparentingacademy.com. Did I say academy? advancedparentingacademy.com/sign up. I might have given you the wrong one. That would really be great. Can somebody check that for me?
They already have that. The one you gave was not correct.
The one I gave was not correct. So is this one, the academy one, correct? I'm confused, please.
I don't know.
Okay, we're checking that out. It's always good to know how to sign up. Sorry. Should have checked it last night. All right, so my team is looking at that, and I do want you to be able to sign up. You can always go through my website at attachment.org and click Learn Online and move through there, but there's a lot more clicks to find it that way, and I want you to be able to get to it quick and easy. And all of the sale prices are up there. My webmaster fixed that all up for us so that you can do the 2 payments or the 4 payments, the independent study, or the master course. Sorry, I'm trying to get this up here for you. All right. Excuse me. The independent study or the VIP. I got a little flustered there because I have 2 different websites I'm giving you. All right. So the independent study, again, it's for children 5 to 14 years old. If you have a child who's younger than 5 or a child 15 and up, then when you sign up for the course, shoot me an email and I will call you and we will need to tweak it for the younger children or the older teens. Okay? But this is designed for the 5 to 14-year-olds. So if your child fits in that age range, this is exactly the tools that you need to get them on the track to very easily, because I already, like I said, I work the bugs out. I've already done it wrong, so you don't have to. And we've got it there all for you. All right. So I want to move on. Our independent studies, $595, and our easy pay on that is $149 for 4 payments, which makes it affordable for everybody. Much less money than what you're going to be paying for a lot of the programs out there. And maybe you've tried a whole lot of therapies and different programs and you're discouraged and you've invested a lot of money already. But I've got to tell you, we've got a track record. They did just hand me the research. Let me just quote something real quick from the abstract on the research that the researchers did at Cabrini University. This program effectively reduced disruptive behaviors and improved family mental health scores. Pre-test to post-test scores showed significant change in a clinically positive direction. Child anxiety was reduced. Parent anxiety was significantly reduced. Statistical effect size were in the moderate to large category. So we're not making small changes, we're making large changes. And we have years of research backing that up, and certainly a lot of anecdotal research. Okay, so our independent study is there for you. Do we have the website? Okay, can you please tell me?
Attachment.org at the bottom of the page. The link is there.
Okay. All righty. So if you go to my website at attachment.org, there's little icons there that have a mortarboard cap, and it says Learn Online. Click that and it'll take you where you can see the Advanced Parenting Academy. And then when you get to that page there, You can pick whether you want the independent study and you're ready to go on your own, or whether you're going to need a lot of backup and you want me to help you with all the extra things that go with the very important parent course. All right? And that one is $997. I only have room for 18 there. Save over $1,600. $510 for 2 payments, or 4 payments of $265. All right, and that's all on my website, so you can see it there. advancedparentingacademy.com/sign-up is what I have on my screen, but I'm not sure. This is a picture of my daughter Connie. I got her when she was 15. She was extremely violent. I was her 9th mother. The 8 mothers before me let her go. First mother abused her, neglected her, and tortured her pretty much. And the next 7 tried to love her with everything they had, but they didn't have the tools, and they gave up because of her high level of violence. She came to me at 15, which is very late, but it's not too late. And my daughter Connie is beautiful and loving today. She's a wife and a mother. And this is, she was about 16 here, and we made, that's not a cake, that's a giant cheese. We made a giant cheese together, and she actually won an award at our county fair for her mozzarella cheese. We had a great time. She's not hurting anybody. This is a good thing. It's what we want for our kids to be successful. This is a brain of a little guy that I worked with who was 9. And in this scan, the blue part of the brain is where it's working at full speed. The pink and orange parts are where the brain's working at like half speed. And the white part is where the brain's not working properly at all. This little guy was in big trouble. He was really out of control. He had an amazing mother who was worn down to nothing. She started using my program. 2.5, almost 3 years later, she had another scan done. This is without medication, all right? And you can see a lot of blue there, healthy brain. And we got some pink and orange parts. There's a white spot there where his brain still needs quite a bit of healing. But if we go back and look where he was when he started and where he was at the end, that's exciting. The physical changes we make in the brain with a child every second of every minute of every hour that we're interacting with them, whether we're doing it right or wrong, is impacting the brain that's going to carry them the rest of their life. So there's a picture on the outside of the brain. He's beautiful. He calls me off and on. He's all grown up. He's 26 years old now. He's all grown up, and he still calls me once in a while just to see how I'm doing, because he has a gentle heart and he cares. He loves his mother very, very much. And he's successful today. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Is he wonderful? Yes. Does he have a proud mother? Yes. Look at how happy he is. His eyes are lit up with that amazing smile. This little one, I worked with a few years ago. A family came to one of our bonding camps to learn how to do the techniques that we have right there in the academy for you. And it's called From Death to Life, because that's what her mother wrote on the pictures. When she adopted her from the orphanage, you see her eyes filled with terror, lost. She's just not even present. She's just glazed over there. Thin little scared thing. And after camp, after she did the healing, after her parents used this amazing program, and I got to tell you, loving, loving parents who were totally betrayed by their community, by their church, just betrayed. And they stood strong and saved this little girl. And you see the light in her eyes, the sparkle of joy and love, happiness. And that's reflected from the same face that I saw on her mother. When she gave me these pictures, her mother has the same smile with her eyes lit up with joy and a softness that I sure didn't see when she came to camp with her big dark rings of stress and exhaustion. They used the program, and it worked. I want you to try these tools. I've used them over and over. Here's a number of the families, parents with their happy children, happy parents. There's John and his amazing mom there up in the top, and they're all my dear friends. I get bonded to the parents as we work together to help the children to heal. I love getting pictures. I love getting emails. I want to get one from you as you tell me all the great things your child's doing as you work through the program and as the healing happens and you move forward. I want to have pictures and emails from all of you, because I know there is a light at the end of the tunnel that you're in, and you don't have to stay there. So your best investment ever is your family. I want you to join the Academy. Like I said, I've got a bonus. If you sign up before midnight tonight, I'm going to add all of those webinars for you. And, you know, if you need a little bit more time, the special is going to go clear till Sunday night. And, you know, hopefully we'll still have a spot because I can only take 18 in my VIP course in order to be available with the amount of time that I need for each of you. And my independent study, of course, you can still call me and we'll talk on the phone. And, you know, I'm still here, okay? It's just not included in the program, but you're walking with me each day, each week. You've got those online modules to turn on and watch whenever you want to, and just make it simple. It works whether you have 2, 3, 4, 5 children. You can do them all at the same time, all right? So let's get to our questions. Reserve your spot in the master course. See here it says advancedparentingacademy.com/signup. So I think that is the correct link. VIP is limited. Independent study is also limited. So if you want a spot in my course, you're ready to make changes in your family, please sign up. We've only got till Sunday night because the course starts on Monday and we need to have some time to get everything ready for you. And that's what I want for you, a happy family. So let's take a look at our questions. We've got some great questions here, pages of them. Thank you. My son gets angry if I hug him. He says he does not like hugs. Don't touch him. As long as they're pushing you away like that, they're failing, they're sinking, they're going down in the quicksand. So what I like to do is I like to sit them down and I say, you know, I want to understand a little bit more how you feel about touch. So I want to spend a little bit of time looking into this. Does it bother you more if I touch you lightly or if I touch you firmly? And I would just touch lightly on the shoulder, firmly. Which one? Which one is easier for you? A light touch or a firm touch? Firm touch bothers you more, light touch is better. Okay, okay. Now, does one side of your body get bothered more than the other? If I touch you lightly over here on this shoulder, is it easier than lightly over here on this shoulder, or are they the same? Let me do it again, try it. Lightly over here or lightly over there. Which one's easier for you? Are they about the same, or is one a little bit more challenging for you? And in the meantime, I'm just touching them. Okay, touching. No, I think the left shoulder is easier for me. So if I touch you lightly, now I'm mixed up. Was it lightly on the left shoulder or was it firmly on the right shoulder? It was lightly on the left shoulder? Okay, okay. Then I notice it's harder for you to handle touch when you're angry. Would you say so? Yeah, when I'm mad, I really don't want anybody to touch me. Okay, okay. So what is it that makes you the most angry? What do you think makes you the most angry of all time? Your brother? Okay, okay. So what is it your brother does that makes you the very most angry? Looks at you? Okay, all right. So I want you to think about your brother looking at you and get some anger going. Okay, try to get some anger going, thinking your brother's looking at you. Okay, and then when you get there, I'm going to touch you. Oh, now, I forgot. Was it lightly on the left shoulder or firmly on the, let me try. Okay, lightly. Okay, this one over here is easier than that. Oh, okay, okay, I got it. Lightly on the left shoulder. Okay, so when you get the anger going, okay, raise your hand so I know that you got a lot of anger going. Okay, you feeling that? Okay, you feeling that? Okay, you got some anger going? All right, I'll touch you lightly on the shoulder. Oh, look, you handled it. And then I give him a big hug. I'm so proud of you. Now I understand it better. And I give him another hug. And we break through the wall that they have built up, just slowly, patiently, kindly. I'm not going to wrestle a child down. I'm going to hug you because you need it. That's not loving. All right, but I work it through. They will be hugged. It's part of being a family. Okay. We have, what recommendations would you have if the child is at least 6 inches taller than the parent? I have that. My son kept growing. It's because you're feeding him good food. Don't be doing that. Get out the Cocoa Puffs. No, I'm kidding. I used to have to stand on the stairs to hug my son because, I hear you, he grew to be 6'3". So I would, come here, I need to hug you. And I would go and I'd stand on the second step so that I could hug him with his arms below mine. All right? I'm glad your son's a tall one. That's good. Are the flashbacks conscious or subconscious? Usually they're subconscious. Sometimes in the night, their dreams get even more vivid, and they know that they're there, but they think we all have them, okay? And they have lived with them, many of our children, for so many years that it's just part of their daily life. But we feel like, okay, we brought you into a safe, loving home, and you've been here for 5 years. It's time for you to get over your past. And we don't realize they brought those flashbacks back with them. So the beatings, the rape, the starving, whatever horrible thing they've been through, they brought with them into our safe home, and they're reliving it. So it wasn't 5 years ago for them. It was yesterday. It was this morning. And they don't feel safe, okay? EMDR is the best therapy for post-traumatic stress disorder, very, very research-backed. And when we have a therapist trained to do it with children with reactive attachment disorder, it can be very successful. If they're trained in EMDR but not reactive attachment disorder, they will fail and you'll waste your money because the child will not cooperate in therapy, and so they have to know how to do it with a totally non-cooperative client. All right, so they should be trained in that. You got to find the right therapist. Robin says the child is in a group home. When attention seeking, he makes noises, arm farts, or animal noises. Cool, you can make money doing that. What can I ask the teacher or staff to do when he starts? They should be using the brain-based behavior interventions where they do a brain shifter, ask him what happened, and have him do an act of kindness. In the residential treatment centers where I've done trainings, the children end up sweeping a section of the floor or wiping, scrubbing part of the wall or something for staff members when they've been disrespectful doing these things to get noise, all right? And pretty quickly they stop and they need to find more appropriate attention, ways to get attention, all right? DB asks, what happens if art is usually pictures of me dead? How about naked, tied up, and blindfolded? Okay, well, that's what's in your child's subconscious, and I would certainly rather that they're drawing it than doing it. And as long as I have a child drawing those pictures with the knife, with the blood dripping, and all the stuff that many of our children unfortunately draw, I know we need to continue with the therapy, and usually twice a week. And do they want to kill me? Absolutely. And I've asked them why. When they get healthy enough to be able to converse and share what's really going on in their hearts, why do they want to kill me? Because I love them. And it's the fastest way to stop the love because they're afraid of love when they have reactive attachment disorder. Love could break their heart, and the deepest wound they've ever had was that rejection and that heartbreak that they suffered. So they don't want love. And yet, it's their heart medicine. They have to have it. So I'm not stopping. And they're not going to kill me because I'm bigger than they are and stronger. Okay. And I don't want to die today. So Deb asks, my teens refuse to go to therapy, like not getting out of the chair. What do you recommend? Well, we need to do a lot of work at home before we even, and I don't tell them where we're going, when we're going. Too much information. They don't know where we're going. I learned from Sprout's mom. She says, come with me. She says that all day long. Come with me. And then she takes Sprout downstairs and he folds his laundry. Come with me. And she takes him to the table and they have lunch. Come with me. And they go out and they collect eggs. Come with me. And they go to the therapist. Come with me. They go to the dentist. She doesn't say, come with me. We're going to go here. We're going to do that. She just says, come with me. And she leads. And in the beginning, he's like, where are we going? When do we come back? Trying to control. And now he just follows. Which is exactly what a child needs to do to learn to be a leader. Follow a great leader. Follow someone with integrity and hard work ethics and all of those things, watching how we're doing it so that they can learn how to do it. And then when they get to be teenagers, over 15, they can do what we call, discuss. We say, I want you in by 10 instead of, yes, Mom. Sometimes they'll say, I was kind of hoping I could stay out longer because the boys, we're all going to go out for a pie afterwards. Could I please stay out longer? Oh, going out for pie? Where'd they have pie? Village Inn has a really good deal on pie on this night. Oh, all right. Well, that sounds like a good deal. But if my child says, how come I have to be in at 10? Everybody else gets to stay out till midnight. You're the meanest mom in the whole world. I'm going to say, you are so right, sweetheart. I am so sorry. I'm not going to have you go out tonight. You're not ready. Child, just let me know. They're going to be rude to me. They're not ready for the world. So with the teens, I pull them in. My program is designed to pull them back in so that we've got that compliance in the house so we can get out the door to the therapist. And sometimes we got to have a therapist who comes to the house. But the child's not controlling whether they're getting help or not. That is not okay. They're too sick to make that decision. And I just flew back from Spokane, and a mom got on the plane with 3 little children, and she says, as she's walking down the aisle, where do you want to sit? Well, they all wanted to sit at the window seat. Hello. Well, no, you can't sit there. You're going to sit, but I want to sit. So she gave them an option. They chose, and then they don't get it. She set up a war instead of giving clear directions. So-and-so, you're going to sit here. So-and-so, you're going to sit there. So-and-so, you're going to sit here. And halfway through the flight, we're going to switch so that you each get a chance to sit at the window. Okay, but not, anyway. Kimberly asks, my 13-year-old daughter feels that she must always be in charge of everything. Trust issues, we call that. As a result, she is defiant, shunned, in trouble. This doesn't work. How do I help her relinquish perceived control and conform to societal norms? Come with me. Pretty much the deal. I call them to breakfast. I call them once. Breakfast is ready. They don't come. We eat. We clear the table. They show up. Well, where's mine? I called you. But we'll have extra lunch. I'll make some extra food at lunch. You'll probably be hungry. Well, I want such and such. Thank you for letting me know. I already have the menu planned. They're not telling me what to do. I am the leader. I prepare the meals, so I have control. They don't go in my kitchen, open the freezer, get stuff out, put it in the microwave, and prepare their own meal and eat individually. We eat as a family. It's part of family bonding time. We eat together. They miss it. I'll have some more meal, more food in a couple of hours. We eat all day long as humans. All right, but I take control back. And sometimes we have to get pretty creative with that. I was just working with a really exhausted mom. Oh, my goodness, she's got twins that are both really out of control. And she managed to get them to the therapist, and the one wouldn't say thank you. She went, like, yeah, what she said when mom said thank you, but mom had coached her ahead of time. So we talked about it, and I said, well, you take some materials with you, and you're clear downtown there in the office. You leave the therapist's office, you sit at the end of the hallway, you give her a card. She can make a thank you card for the therapist, and you're not moving until she gets it done. So take you some sandwiches and a thermos, because you might be there all day, but you don't move till she gets it done. If she decides to walk out the door and keep going, then, that's her problem. She's going to try to get herself home. But highly likely this girl's intelligent enough to turn herself back around and go back to mom to get a ride home. All right, so sometimes we got to just hold our ground and retake the turf, all right? Kelsha asks, I don't know if I said your name right. That's a beautiful name. I hope I did. I did Taming the Tiger with my daughter when she was 3. Now she's 9. I'm unsure on the tools for older children. Adoptive dad and I divorced 4 years ago, and he disconnected. It feels like starting all over again. When we have a big trauma in the family, like a divorce, it is like starting all over again for you, for your child. And so we just kind of do a restart where we pull them in with a lot more hugs than a normal child needs, with a lot more closeness, working together, playing together one-on-one, and then help them to move forward from there. But that you did the toddler program early on is going to give her that good foundation so she can bounce back faster from the tragedy that you've just all been through. And it takes years to get over divorce. I hear you. Debbie asks, what about teens? There just isn't much about them. There isn't much about teens. And there needs to be a book about teens. The problem with it, because I would have written it, the problem with it is that they are all so unique and individual by the time they reach 15 that there isn't a kind of general way to do things. It has to be so tweaked for each child that there isn't a way you can write a book. Seriously, I would put some tools out there if I could. We do have a teen camp now for the 15 to 19-year-olds. We have one, and we only take 5 families, so it's very, very limited. I think there's only one opening left for that one. But there is help for the teens. They can do it, but we really have to strategize and do a one-on-one program. So my master course will work for that, but we have to tweak it for each individual older teen. So if you're going to make changes and you want to do it with my master course, give me a holler and we'll tweak it specifically for your teen, okay? Jay asks, would the VIP program help with a 17-year-old who acts like 7 most of the time? Will it help their normal 10-year-old brother who has to deal with them all the time? Absolutely. The healthy children love the program because they do it really, really quickly. The ones who have brain damage, literal brain damage, from too much stress when they were babies, it takes them longer to get through each step of it because they just get so stuck. But many of our older teens are emotionally much younger than their years, and we work with them at that 7-year-old age and then get them going there. My program also has a whole section on identifying conscience development, where the child is in that conscious development and how to move them forward, whether you're at home, in the classroom, or in the therapy room. And once we have that conscience in place, even though emotionally the child might be much younger, the conscience stops them, stops all of us from lying, stealing, hurting, doing a lot of the behaviors. And that's all included in the program, step by step, on what to do with building that conscience. Because once a 17-year-old is out the door, if they've got a conscience, they're still doing some stupid stuff they're learning from, but that conscience is in place, they're going to be a lot safer and not head for jail and stuff. All right, so Hope asks, I am struggling with my 15-year-old talking back all the time and degrading when he does it. Yeah, I hear you. It wears you out. It's just rude. And our 15-year-olds are going through a phase that only happens once in a lifetime that you need to be aware of. They're reformatting the hard drive is how I describe it. All of us, whether we have early childhood trauma or we had a healthy childhood, our brain at 15 years of age, during that 15th year, goes all the way back through all of our memory files, all of our experiences, looks at all of them and refiles them in an adult filing system. Okay, I call it reformatting the hard drive. So if a child has had a great early childhood, fabulous. They go through all the files and there's not a big issue. If they go back in time and there's stress and trauma and fear and pain, they get angry. And they're snarky, and they're like, I can't talk to my mom. She doesn't get it, because as a baby they felt not understood, not listened to, not heard. So now they're taking it out on you. They listen to angry music. They're drawn to destruction, and they're just pretty much fighting. So understanding what's going on with them, helping them to sort through that. A lot of times a really great therapist would be ideal there. Not talk therapy, not Sanchez therapy, not non-directed play therapy. Okay, those three therapies have found to actually harm our children: non-directed play therapy, talk therapy, or Sanchez therapy. So we don't want to use those. And Dr. Bessel van der Kolk from Harvard did the research on that. He found that traditional therapies, he says, traditional therapies are useless with our severely traumatized people, but especially children, because it does not reach the parts of the brain that were most impacted by the trauma. Okay, so we got to find a great therapist. I do have some lists on my website at attachment.org. I list them by states that other parents have found that are good. Let's see. What do you do when they refuse to do a ham sandwich or a brain shifter? Okay, in case those of you don't know what a ham sandwich is, it's when you're working with a wiggly one, okay, and we have the little ones in there chewing their shirt and the hands are up their nose and everything. I put my hand out, palm up. I have them put one hand and then the other, both palms down in my hand, and they're a little bit crisscrossed because it crosses the body and helps their brain to work differently. And then I put my hand on top, so our hearts are facing each other and I'm holding their hands to help them to be able to focus. And if we have a child who's so defiant they won't put their hands in there, then I would say, I'm so sorry, you are so tired. I'm going to have you lay on the couch and rest until you're strong enough to put your hands in mine. And I would have them lay on the couch, put a cloth over their eyes, 5 minutes of quiet. All right, let's see if you're strong enough. Let me see if you can raise your hands up. Oh, there they are. Yes, you are so much stronger. I'm so glad you had that little rest. Or maybe they need 5 minutes of quiet time in their room to rest. Okay, but not a long time in there. All right, Tamra asks, I have a 4-year-old daughter we adopted. It seems she has never bonded well with me. She was only 3 weeks when we got her. 3 weeks is a long, long time to be without a mom. Even as a baby, she did not seem to want to be held by me. She loves Daddy, even yet when she's hurt or upset, she still gets angry at us and doesn't want to take comfort. Any advice? Absolutely. The brain changes at 5. So my program for the under 5 is very, very successful. It's 6 weeks in the pouch where they're just in there. We don't say no. We don't consequence. We take them back to a newborn status. You didn't have your little one for 3 weeks, and I don't know where she was during that time or what happened to her, but she didn't have your heart. I know that, and your heart is what she needs to heal. So we need to be aware the brain is developing at Mach 1 during the first year. Every hour, over 1 million brain connections are formed. So 3 weeks, you multiply that out times the hours in a day and times 1 million. That's how many brain connections you missed because you couldn't be there for her. And if she was in a lot of stress, which she would have been without a primary caregiver, she got off track. She got derailed, and we need to put her back on track. So we just redo. We start over. Put her as a newborn. You feed her even though she's capable of feeding herself. And we have a whole program for that. We call Taming the Tiger While They're a Kitten. And I have a audio CD and a booklet on that on in my store at attachment.org if you need help. Pete asks, will this academy work with children who have been adopted from other countries? Absolutely. I've worked with children, actually I worked in China for 8 years in programs there with the orphanages. I'm going to Russia again this year, and I've worked with a lot of the Russian children. I've worked with the children from India and Kazakhstan and South America, Guatemala, and there. So yes, it works with children from all countries and helps their heart to heal because our hearts are all the same, whatever country we started out in. All right, Sandy asks, my child is going back to public school this August after being homeschooled for a year and being right by my side. Do you have any IEP webinars and what to ask for in them? I've given the teachers your teacher's video. I don't have an IEP webinar because it really does need to be pretty individual, but you know, that is a really good idea, Sandy, and I am going to write it down and make it happen so that we've got it, because I often get that question, what do we need to have in the IEP? If I don't do a video, I'll do a blog on it so that I can get the information out to you. And I'm so glad your son's going to be ready in August. That's excellent. And that is about right. You know, I'm not sure how old he is, but we look at about 1 month for every year of age that the child is. If we're working with a 5-year-old, excuse me, 2 months, it's about 10 months of hard work. If we're working with a 10-year-old, working with about 20 months before they're just sailing, okay? My program, that first 6 weeks, I'm walking with you side by side, getting it going. We've got a good jump start. You're absolutely headed in the right direction by the end of the 6 weeks. And then, you know, there's still some work to do as you move forward, but you've already got the tools down, so you just keep using the same tools and they finish up. Is there a link to download slides? Will there be a replay link? Oh, good question. We are filming this, and many times I am able to get the film up so that you can review it as much as you want to, and for folks that missed it. But sometimes we have technical glitches and the film doesn't work, or you know, it gets eaten up in the download or whatever. So I can't promise anything, but we do have an editor standing by, and we're hoping very much to be able to have this film up and available for you. We'll put it up for free up until, I believe, Monday or Tuesday next week, and then we'll put it on my store for sale. So, and download the slides. Actually, I can make that happen. Those of you that would like to have the slides, the write-up from the slides, I know some are kind of hard to read. I can do that and have that available for you. I'll put it up on my website, so you can just download that. Okay. Denise asks, how to handle a 6-year-old who likes to sucker punch other kids in the private area for no reason. Oh, but it is for a reason, Denise. They don't do it for no reason. There is a reason. Okay. Did it yesterday and is now in a school suspension. Child has no history of sexual abuse. There's something going on, and when they're waving red flags pointing to a sexual area, sometimes there's something that happened that we aren't aware of. So I would certainly work on secrets. I have a webinar I did last year called Roadblocks to Healing, and it's got the whole how do we help them with the secrets, how do we help them to clean all that out, because there's a reason he's doing that. Okay, and if they do it once, well, they were trying out something and it was bad. They do it twice, it's a red flag that there's an issue there that we need to address. I like to have them draw a picture of a tree. And when a child draws a picture of a tree, unless they've had art lessons and the teacher told them to change their tree, okay, which interferes with it. An older child often has had art classes and it interferes with the information we get from their art. But we have them draw a picture of a tree. And when there's a knot hole in the tree, it indicates severe trauma. Depending on how big the knot hole is and if it's big enough for a little squirrel or an owl to be in, which is a huge, huge trauma, that wound to the tree where the limb was severed has actually gone all the way in toward the heart of the tree and left such a big rotten hole that there's now room for an animal. And that means this child has been deeply, deeply wounded and they really need professional help right away. All right, but sometimes an art teacher says, you can make it more interesting by putting a knot hole. So don't freak out if your child does a knot hole. But when we have one red flag, then I like to look at a number of other indicators to see if that is an issue that we need to deal with, because the knot hole is usually sexual abuse, but certainly not always. It can be, a death in the family or something as well. All right, Dawn asks, what about when your child is a lot taller than you? He is always looking down at me. Have him sit down when you're talking to him so that he's not looking down at you. Dawn, he refuses to say yes, Mom, to me. He says I should be saying yes, sir, to him. Ooh, wrong. We certainly are respectful to our children, and we give respect and expect respect, but it isn't yes, sir, to a child. And that little snarkiness there, he's off track. He doesn't understand that you're the leader, and you've got some work to do to retake the turf. Somewhere it got lost. We have this thing in America where we ask the children what they want all day long. What would you like for breakfast? What game would you like to play? Where would you like to go? Where would you like to sit on the plane? And the children are having to make these adult decisions. What do you want for lunch? They don't know anything about nutrition. Why would we be asking them? Okay, so we got to retake the turf. If for some reason they've gotten out of the healthy limits that should be there. And I do ask them what they want to eat. If it's their birthday, I make their favorite birthday dinner. But normally, absolutely not. Okay. Leah says, my foster children call me by my first name because they don't feel comfortable calling me Mom. What should I ask them to say in that situation? I like to have foster children call their foster mom, Mom Leah. Okay, would be yours. Mine would be Mom Nancy. That's like Queen Elizabeth, because your title of honor is Mom. You are doing the mom role and putting out your heart and your life, opening your home to this child. You are their mom right now. But if they have another mother that they feel they would be betraying by calling you Mom, then we do need to respect that if they're going to be going home. So then I had them call me Mom Nancy, and then their mom was just called Mom, okay? But they don't call me Nancy. Not okay. It's disrespectful. Shelley, so how do you teach them to listen the first time? How do you make the interrupting stop? Ooh. That's excellent. Okay, so how do I get them to listen the first time? I don't redo, okay? I don't repeat. I do redos because sometimes I mess up and I need a redo, but I don't repeat myself. I say it one time. And I put little learning opportunities out there, like I'll say, I want you to sweep the kitchen floor. And there's a quarter hidden in the toilet paper roll in the bathroom. When you finish sweeping the kitchen floor, I want you to bring the broom and the dustpan and put them right here. And there's candy under the rug in the living room. When you're done putting the broom and the dustpan there, I want you to come and let me know you've finished your job. Right? And then, did you say something about a quarter and some candy? Oh, I don't repeat myself. And pretty soon they're like, you gotta listen to everything she says because stuff slips in there. And they're like, you said there's a quarter in the toilet paper roll in the bathroom. Yes, I did. Good job listening. Awesome. What a lot of parents do, they do this. You never listen. You never listen to me. You never listen to me. You never listen. And we brainwash them into believing, I don't listen. I have a listening defect. Okay, so I like to do, you are getting to be a great listener. Look, you caught that in there. But I slip little things in there and I mumble it. I usually look away while I'm saying it. When I'm talking to a child, I try to be very clear, looking in their eyes, and, you know, give them directions very clearly. I want you to do whatever it is. And then the fun stuff I just slip in there in a little mumble. So it's harder to hear. I do that on purpose and teach them how to listen. All right? Good questions, you guys. Excellent, excellent. Let's see. Where do we get to here? Do you set expectations? Absolutely. I need to let the children know what I want them to do beforehand. All right? So, like we get in the car. Before I start the engine, I say I want it quiet in the car. So they know what to expect. We set clear limits and boundaries, telling them what we want them to do rather than what we don't want them to do. Okay. How do I handle when my son thinks it's fun to hurt or make fun of other people and gets mad and tells me I never let him have fun because I won't let him do that? Well, it sounds like we've got some serious conscience development to do with this little guy who likes to hurt people for fun. He doesn't understand. Sometimes our children who have been abused tune their body out. They don't feel pain. They don't feel their body. They don't feel when they're sick or injured in any way. They literally don't feel their bodies. And so they don't feel other people's pain. Like if I hit you right now, I would hurt where I hurt you because I would feel your pain because I have a conscience, okay? And we've got to build a conscience in this little guy to help him to understand, to help him to stop. And as the children heal, they do start to feel their body again, and all of those feelings do come back. All right, so we're way over time because I talked too long, and we need to wrap it up. But I just want to thank you before we go. I appreciate all that you're doing for the children. I appreciate the love that you're giving them. I appreciate the time you're investing in them. I hope that you'll be able to join my Advanced Parenting Academy Master Course while we've got this special going on so that I can continue to help you and give you lots of new tools and tweak your toolbox to where you're a superstar with your kids. So thank you very, very much. Have a great day. Sorry, just was